My name is Unbreakable. No, that's not my government name, but it's a name that I acquired when I started this page back in 2019. See, I'm a domestic violence survivor. I am also a childhood sexual molestation survivor. I am also an unalive attempt survivor. I had 2 marriages, both abusers. The first marriage was to my daughter's father, and that was primarily physical. 3 concussions. Got out of that marriage and swore that another man would never raise his hand to me. Many years later, I met my daughter's father. My son's father. 15 years with that abuser. And that man barely laid a hand on me. The most that I ever suffered from that was primarily bruises on my wrist to restrain me from trying to get away from the verbal attacks. The attacks where their eyes turn completely black and you fear for your life. The other worst thing that I suffered in that relationship was SA. SA so severe that I had to have emergency surgery to repair the damage that was done by that abuser. That happened in 2018. And to this day, in 2025, I still have medical side effects from it. I live with it every day. I just have to live with a constant reminder, day in and day out, of what that abuser did to me. In 2018, I had a plan, ironclad plan, to unalive myself because I believed all of the brainwashing. I was horrible, I was worthless, I was the worst mom, I was the worst wife, I was the worst stepmom, I was the worst daughter, I was the worst friend. I believed all of the brainwashing. And I had a plan in 2018, December of 2018, to unalive myself. January 5th of 2019, the abuser came home and announced that he wanted a divorce. And I said, okay. 2019 was the year that changed me. I fought not only for my life, but the life of my child. Because while I didn't have too many bruises from that relationship, my child did. My child was the one who had the bruises from that relationship. Talk about guilt. Watching your child be choked and beaten with bruises left that don't go away for weeks. And as a parent, trying to step up and say, please stop, and then being threatened myself. Talk about guilt. 2019, when I got out, I had no clue that what I had gone through was abuse. None. I didn't understand it. I've said it before. I knew that things weren't right. There were things that just didn't feel right. But I didn't know I was an abuse victim. I had no clue. So as I said, 2019 began the fight of my life. Divorce hearing, custody, child support, separation of the estate. And in early 2019, I created a page here on Facebook. I don't remember the name of it, but I was not very technologically inclined, and the abuser during court found that page, and I shut it down. And with the little bit of strength that I had, I thought, you're not going to control me anymore. So I created Unbreakable and Uplifting, and I learned how to lock it down so that nobody could see who ran this page. And I started posting quotes and memes and words and things that I knew I needed to hear, things that were making a difference in my life, things that I heard that were hard for me to hear. That's all this page was. 2020, I started getting a little more vocal. I started putting my own words on this page, still undercover. And then I believe it was 2021 that I finally came on camera. Unbreakable and Uplifting has organically manifested into what it is today, over 1.6 million followers. Unbreakable and Uplifting began as my healing journey, and it continues to be my healing journey. I will never stop saying it. I have not, nor will I ever claim to be a mental health professional, an expert, or a know-it-all. I am simply a very vocal survivor. I come on here, I share my experience, my strength, my hope. I share my ups, my downs. I share my meltdowns. I share my own toxic traits. I share my mental health journey. I share my frustrations. I share my hurt. I share my pain. And what I have found on this page is that I'm not alone. Something that we victims, we survivors, I think all have in common. When we get out, we think we're alone. It became a passion. It became a mission to keep this page going. I don't post on here for likes and follows and merchandise and money. I come on here to speak to those who need to hear it. Again, I don't post for the likes and the follows. I post for that one person. I post for that one person who thinks that they are alone. I post for that one person who is still in, feeling like nobody understands what I'm going through and nobody understands how hard it is to get out. I post for that one person who says, I'm ready to give up. I post for that one person who says, I'm contemplating unaliving myself. I post for that one person who says, I didn't even know I was being abused. I post for that one person who says, Unbreakable, I thought I was crazy. That one person who says, all of these thoughts and these emotions and these feelings that are overwhelming me, I don't know what to do. I post for that one person who is hurting, who is hanging on by a thread. I post for that one person who is angry at themselves because they didn't leave sooner. I post for that one person who feels shame because they kept their babies there longer than they should have. I post for that one person who says, Unbreakable, I have court tomorrow and I'm terrified. I post for that one person who says, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. I post so that others have a voice because we've already lost too many victims. I post for the ones who are crying out and not being heard. I post for the ones who are not being believed. I post for the ones who just want to be heard, who just want to be seen, who just want to be validated, who just want to hear, I believe you. Because see, we've found our value and we have found our worth. And we have found that it's okay for us to step forward. I'm not going to feel guilty for it. I don't claim to be a coach. I haven't paid for any special certifications or classes. I don't charge people to talk to me. Every private message that I get, every email that I get, I respond to every single one. And I don't send them a bill after. Because there's so many victims out there who, when they got out, they were left with nothing financially. My abuser tried it. My abuser tried every tactic in court to leave me financially desolate, to take everything that I had. How many of our abusers threaten that to us? When we say we're gonna leave, or when we do stand up and leave, how many of them, I'm gonna take everything that you have? And they try. There are so many victims and survivors out there who are just trying to buy a loaf of bread to feed their babies. I don't ask for money. I come on here to support anyone and everyone so that you are seen, so that you are heard, so that you are validated, so that you know you are not alone and you sure as heck are not crazy. This page is the most important thing to me in everything that I do. Random fact, I'm 55, I'm not getting any younger. And so, you know, especially we as parents come to a point in our lives where it's like we need to do our estate planning for the day that it's time for us to go. This page is included in my will because I never want this space to go away. I never want victims and survivors to lose maybe just the one place where they feel heard and seen. So to the commenters, maybe to some of the followers, if you disagree or don't like something that I post, I invite you to keep scrolling or block my page because I'm not going to stop. I will never stop. I will never, ever stop.